software now.
And where does the software come from? United States? Or?
No, it's a Swedish company. Yeah, it is Swedish, isn't it? Yeah, it is a Swedish company. Yeah.
It's mind blowing. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, again, I love it just because it's that virtual replication of an actual studio, and for anyone with a studio background, everything should be pretty
comfortable, looking at it. And while these cables might look scary to you, if you haven't seen this, it's each cable is one bit of sound traveling somewhere. So
it actually makes it a bit easier. Sometimes makes sense than just looking at like a sequencer window, which you'll get for a lot of.
There we go. I remove the cables. Ooh, that's scary, isn't it? No, I like the cables because I like to.
Well, and they move.
It's very easy to patch things around and send sounds to different places. So yeah, it's again, I'm very indebted to this company because there's actually no other software that does this. It actually, all it tries to do is replicate a hardware studio. And I'm pretty sure for myself that I couldn't be as creative in other software because I don't have that immediate organic connection to the instruments. And I guess the other really cool thing is that it's very CPU friendly. The number of times I've been to friends' studios in Ableton, they're like, oh, check out my new track, and hit play, and within 30 seconds the CPU's crashing, and they're I just got to bounce this part out, and we'll mute this part, and it's this painful process until processing speeds get better and CPU gets better. But I've got a couple of tracks only ever that I've caused CPU problems. Again, playing live is, like I said before, is identical to what I do at home and how I write a track. So playing live is very easy, and never had a crash. So it's always worked beautifully. It never had a CPU problem. I don't. I've got on my tracks on CDs. Yeah, but again, it's never happened. But I've always, when I play live, I always make sure there's CDJs with a track, one of my tracks queued ready, just in case.
I always kind of think if you've got a backup plan, you'll never need to use it. The night you don't, that'll be the night where it decides to crash.
That's the great thing, yeah. So it's a bit of peace of mind, but again, hopefully it's never happened yet. But law of nature, it'll happen.
Yeah,
eventually.
Okay, so I guess just then getting into Reason and how you use it. I mean, where would you normally start? Have you got?
I guess I do have a template that I often start with, which is just I didn't actually get it ready for you guys, but it will be somewhere. Where's my Reasons folder? There we go. So a template. Oops. Which is very simply drum machine, couple of synths, some loop players and effects all patched in. So this instrument here is a Rex player, which, does anyone know Recycle? It's a creates loops, okay, and you can chop the loops up. And you can it splits it across the keyboard. So at the moment I've been doing a lot of sampling, actually, for the first time ever. I've never sampled before, but I've been quite enjoying sampling tracks and really fucking them up and making them unrecognizable. It's a whole new palette that I've never really worked with before. I was pretty staunchly anti-sample in the past, but I've changed my tunes.
That's right. I never thought I'd DJ on anything other than turntables.
Right? Yeah, no, totally. I was the same. Yeah, I was vinyl only, but yeah, I've changed as well. So, I mean, there we can see there's 3 or 4 loop players, a combinator which can be anything, it might be effects, and the drum machine. Again, the drum machine's is a pretty key part to what I do. So there's a kick, hat, and then you can
use the built-in sounds out of that drum machine. You're not playing back.
You could.
Samples?
No, I mean they're just WAV files. So
but the WAV file or the WAV files that came with Reason?
No, I mean finding sample packs and so on. Yeah, so it's of course, there's amazing amounts of resources out there now, and I think that the quality of particularly percussion samples now are really stunning. 24-bit, beautiful fat sound. So I think part of the reason music sounds better now is often to do with samples. And since, particularly for dance music, the percussion sounds are such the key element and the core element of the sound, having that big thick kick drum and really crisp hats just sounds better through sample packs. So I create my own kind of sample libraries that I put together. So, for example, loading up this, I would go, this is my folders that I've made up of, so here we go, kick drums.
Incidentally, do let us know if we're hitting you too from behind, because
so it's just
you are a lot closer than we are.
I've gone through making sure I've got
I can't hear that.
You can test everybody afterwards.
If you walk at it, you'll be able to tell us exactly when it's getting too loud. And actually trying to be really, I guess I'm not sure the word, trying to really cut down on the fluff, because there's so many sample packs out there. Someone will give you one, or you buy one, and there's 2,000 samples, but I'll just laboriously go through and I might take 10 amazing sounding ones and actually just get rid of the rest. And so building up my own sample banks of sounds that I think sound really fantastic.
And you just do that as a couple of hours or a session where it's just tending to the sample?
Trying to avoid it, but occasionally it's like good to just sit down and focus on it.
You're obviously playing live now with Reason. Have you played live when you were actually still working with sort of hardware and analog?
Totally, yeah. We played live going back to, I'm not sure, my first live gig. Might have been 93, 94.
So you're talking a lot about the parallels in the studio when you're writing a song now and when you were writing a song then. Are the same parallels there when you play live? In terms of how you
I guess so. I mean, of course, playing live then was a lot more backbreaking because you had to lift synths and mixers. But still, there was the focus on the mixing desk because you've got all your peripheral gear and you can't be controlling all that. It's about controlling which synths come in at which time, and do I bring the kick in now, or mute the kick in and mute it off. So the mixing desk was a focal point. And here I guess it's slightly more dissolute, but if I just put down here these keys here, you can set up any of these keys as a mute on or off. So I have my mixing desk or the I can't see the screen now. That's silly. But the drum machine here. See, if you hit the number 1 key, you'll see the mute just here. So the mute just come on and off. So
your laser pointer as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I know I always set it up. Mute 1 is my kick drum, 2 is my bass line, 3 is my closed hat, 4 is my clap, 5 are my shakers, 0 are my rides. So I know that every time I play live, I can always be pulling these things in and out. So in effect, that is mirroring the old mixing desk, because again it was the same. You'd have your drop your mutes off when you wanted to bring something in. So so I just mute so again it's just bringing things in. So yeah, that's simply how it's done. Yeah.
Do you monitor yourself outboard, like when you're playing? Obviously you play in different clubs and the setup is different in those clubs. Do you actually monitor yourself directly from...
What do you mean by monitor?
Let's say from... are you listening to the sound in your ears as it comes out of your audio?
No, I generally try to do it in the DJ booth if possible, because I like access to the DJ mixer, so I can put a bass kill on if I can. But it's just using the DJ monitors. So if I can, I'll always try and be in the DJ booth.
Because you've obviously got, I guess, copies of your originals as Reason files. You're pretty, how can I say, you're pretty confident that it's already sounding very good when you're going there. I don't need to sound check. I'm very happy now with the translation from the studio to the club, so I know that it's going to sound... That's quite useful, obviously. Some people move from one
And again,
DAW
I just got some new monitors this year, and